In the wake of the Parkland, Florida mass shooting, Dick's Sporting Goods is taking a hard stance and has made the decision that it is not going to sell assault-style rifles, as well as making some other changes to their gun sales policy in their Dick's Sporting Goods stores. And now you might be saying, well, what other stores are there? I will get to that in a little bit. We learned that the Parkland shooter bought a gun at Dick's last year, although it wasn't the kind of gun that was ultimately used in the shooting. And here's their CEO, Edward Stack, on Good Morning America, telling George Stephanopoulos about the change they're making and why.
Our exclusive interview with Ed Stack. He's the chairman and CEO of Dick's Sporting Goods, the nation's largest sporting goods retailer. And just moments ago, he released an open letter announcing that Dick's will no longer sell assault-style rifles, no longer sell firearms to anyone under 21 years of age, no longer sell high-capacity magazines. He's here to explain why. Good morning, Ed.
Thanks.
This is a dramatic move. Tell us why you're taking it.
Well, thanks for having me today to talk about this. And as we looked at what happened down in Parkland, and we were so disturbed and saddened by what happened, we felt we really needed to do something. And so we've decided not to sell these assault weapons any longer in any of our stores, and the other things that we talked about.
Yeah, and the shooter down in Parkland actually bought a gun at a Dick's store, not the assault weapon.
Right. He did, and he bought a shotgun from us back in November, and it wasn't the gun, nor it was the type of gun that he used in the shooting. But when that happened, we realized that the system, and we did everything by the book. We did everything that the law required, and still he was able to buy a gun.
Amazing that he was able to buy one.
He was still able to buy a gun, and when we looked at that, we said, the systems that are in place across the board just aren't effective enough to keep us from selling someone a gun like that. And so we've decided that we're not going to sell the assault-type rifles any longer.
So they're still going to sell firearms. This is still a good thing. The full list of changes, again, as was mentioned there, which we're putting up on the screen for you, includes that they are no longer going to sell assault-style rifles. They are no longer going to sell firearms to anyone under 21, no high-capacity magazines, and they never have and never will sell bump stocks that allow semi-automatic weapons to fire more rapidly. I actually do think that 18 to 21 makes a difference. The level of maturity for a 21-year-old compared to an 18-year-old in many cases is pretty different. You're going from a high school senior or college freshman to someone potentially almost done with 4 years of college. Not for everybody. I know people who were just as immature at 21 as they were at 18, but big picture, that does make a difference. This is the right decision. There's a lot of calculated marketing and PR here, right? And first of all, it's that Dick's has a sister store called Field & Stream, and every indication is that Field & Stream is making no changes to what's available there, and Field & Stream is really more the place where people go at a higher rate to buy guns than regular Dick's stores. But what surfaced as a result of this story is that tons of people had no idea that Dick's sold guns at all. And I admit, I don't go to Dick's often. About a year ago, the bike that I keep in Western Massachusetts was stolen. And I went to Dick's to buy a new bicycle. And I have no recollection of seeing guns there. Maybe the Hadley, Massachusetts location just doesn't sell the guns. I'm not saying they don't sell them. I just don't remember seeing them. But the gun fetishists are furious with Dick's, saying, well, now we're going to boycott Dick's, and this is a terrible decision that they're making. I say go ahead and boycott them, right? This is fundamentally a business decision. This is the free market that the right claims to push for. Dick's is free to do whatever they want in terms of what they do and don't sell within the law based on what's best for them. And I believe that this is mostly Dick's making a business and PR decision because it's not, Dick's is a huge company, right? It's not like the company policy reflects the moral views of any individual or a vice president or the CEO or whoever. They get together in a room and they make a business decision about what's best for the Dick's brand, meaning for their business. And this is what they came up with. I agree with the decision. If you big picture support the rights of businesses to make decisions in the market, then you've got to support Dick's doing this. You might choose not to go to Dick's as a result of the decision, but the speed with which the American right that claims to be for the free market and private business sovereignty starts going crazy on companies when they make the decisions that are best for them is just laughable.
Yeah, and I don't really feel comfortable questioning the motives of the CEO of Dick's Sporting Goods because I'm sure he was disturbed by the Parkland shooting, of course. But this has been going on for a long time, and assault-style rifles have always been the choice of these mass shooters.
For a lot of
time,
time, yeah.
This is just starting now.
And to be clear, yeah, Handguns, the guns involved in most individual instances where someone is killed or injured with a gun, but the assault style rifles, much more common in the mass shootings. And I agree in the sense that I just don't think the decision really relates to the moral rectitude of the CEO. I believe what the guy says, but I think that the broader decision here is a business decision and a PR decision and a marketing decision, and one that they're completely entitled to make. So good for them. I'm curious about Field and Stream, though. It doesn't seem like anything's changing there. The video you just watched was made possible by support from you. Please go to patreon.com/David Pakman Show. You can make a pledge of as little as $1 per month, and every dollar helps to support the work that we're doing, particularly in light of the YouTube ad boycott, which has been really bad.